All right, so this is kind of fun. When two worlds collide. So I'm obviously into the UFO topic, but I'm also into health and fitness. It's one of my passions in life. One of the podcasts I listen to is called Mind Pump. I listen to it on the Apple Podcast usually, but they have the YouTube version that comes out usually the next day after the original comes out. So yeah, I was listening to this, and I'm like, oh, I gotta share this. So just check out this clip. It's maybe a minute, 2 minutes long. Just check it out.
Description below. Justin, I'm going to switch gears here. I sent you some clips of the UFO disclosures that are coming out. Have you seen? So they just released. They just released the first authentic, quote unquote, authentic video of a UFO retrieval.
Yeah, that was weird.
Where they actually got and they said, no, this is a unidentified flying object that is not man-made. It looks like an egg. Yeah. And it's not a very compelling video, to be honest.
No, it's not.
But it's authentic. And then there are interviews with these people who said that they interacted with it, and what's weird is they're all talking about how
it's like a spiritual experience.
Yes, dude. It was communicating with me, and I could communicate with it through our minds, and I felt this incredible spiritual presence. And then we all got really sick. And it's all this weird stuff that it's starting to strengthen my theory that we're probably not dealing with aliens. It's demons. I think it's like interdimensional.
You and Tucker Carlson are on that trip.
Yeah,
he's all about that.
But I'm like, what do you mean it talks with your mind? It affects, it makes you feel like this wonderful spiritual presence or whatever. That sounds weird.
It sounds weird. Yeah, it sounds like magic.
Yeah. But they're apparently going to be releasing more and more of these disclosures.
Yeah, I mean,
you think they're building up to something?
We're about to see quite a weird shift. There's going to be a lot of things that I hope all these disclosures really do happen, and we can gain a little bit of insight with a lot of the shenanigans going around. But yeah, I guess that's what's funny though. I'm more interested in actually the fabric underlying our government of like all the bad actors that we're going to finally like get the real story of like.
Apparently they're going to release it.
I'm so not like hanging
That's
on
what I'm
that.
interested in. The UAP stuff is like ancillary.
What a weird time though. If they had released any of that UFO
I would have been so much more into that.
20 years ago, it would have made national news. Now it's like nobody cares.
Yeah. I just want vindication that, this meddling, can be out in the surface now.
Speaking of politics, Trump, I think, did one of the most smart political moves.
I think that's it right there. But yeah, lots of things I could comment on. Well, first of all, this guy Sal, he's kind of like the main commentator on the show, whatever, but he's a recent convert to Christianity. So it's been interesting following his journey. I'll just keep it at that for now. But yeah, it's a very interesting conversation, especially when you start going in that direction that might be demonic, and that's what I certainly believe that it is. Hold on, you said something I wanted to comment on.
What a weird time, though.
They were talking about how, 20 years ago, man, this thing would have been, way more interesting, it seems. They kind of joked about this, maybe 2 weeks ago or so on the show, where it's like, man, we live in such a day now where if a UFO just lands outside in our front lawn or whatever, when we're in bed, we'd be like, oh, kids, just, go grab some footage of that. Just let me sleep a little bit longer. Tell me how it went. It's kind of like that uninteresting for some people. Not all people, but some, because we're just so bombarded with so much, just kind of the dumbing down of society, I guess you could say, just commentary on that, I suppose, and we kind of live in the fantastical already with so much of the technology that we have, and there's a lot of things that we said about that. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to share that. It's interesting that other people are talking, but they talk about fitness. Then they just kind of talking like family stuff and whatever. But it's one of my favorite podcasts. It's on weight training mostly, but lots of fitness advice and things like that. It is a secular show, so if you do check it out, be prepared. There's going to be some language, but they do talk a lot with people as well. I think even later in this episode, they talk with, they do talk with people and answer various questions, and you can get on the show and whatever. So anyway, real quick before I hang this up, come on, back out of it. No, I think I accidentally hit an ad. I hate when that happens. Come on. All right, so I was watching a lot of stuff Oh boy, where do I even begin? So, has any of you guys checked out that the full interview dropped of Jake Barber with his interview with Ross Coulthart? I watched some of it, as you can see. I still got a little bit more to go yet. It's almost 3 hours. This guy on Cosmic Road, he kind of summed up a lot of the information that was on there, and I decided to check out the full thing. Let's see. Short clips, let's check out this one.
Yeah, this is why no disclosure is coming, and guess what? It's going to come out in the most beautiful way. I believe the United States government in the next 12 months is going to use me and my team as a peaceful, non-judgmental path forward to disclosure. They're going to help us conduct our operations and gather evidence in order to present this subject matter to the public so that these questions can be answered once and for all. And all the questions, I'm talking about, what do the craft look like? How do they operate? Who is operating them? How are they being operated? And where are they coming from? We should be able to answer those questions probably entirely in the next 12 months. This is why...
All right, and that clip was given to us by the New Paradigm Institute, and of course that's just a clip from the full interview. New Paradigm Institute, I don't know, when I made that video very early on this YouTube channel, I talked about how okay, these are some of the people I follow. I don't know if I had that one on there yet. That's Danny Sheehan's I almost said ministry, no, it's not ministry. I'm just used to saying that from my other channel. Group or organization, there, that's a better word. So that's his thing. If you know who he is, he's check out actually I don't think it was on the Down to Earth Christian Harloff channel yet, because he created that YouTube channel later on. But just look up Christian Harloff and his interview with Danny Sheehan. That was a very good one. Not to load you up with all these super long things to check out, but this is a very interesting one yesterday, or actually I think I was listening to it today. Here, hold on, let's check it out.
This idea of I'm the macho alpha male who controls power and provides for the family, and men don't cry, and all of this bullshit.
Maybe it was I think it's about the perfect time to pause it. I think it's about to say something there. Hold on, guys. Just trust me. You want to hold on for just a moment. But yeah, that interview, man, there was a lot in there. It's more, I to be honest with you, I didn't watch the original one that came out with him and Jake Barber, the original News Nation one that was 40 minutes long and showed the crash retrieval footage for 5 seconds worth of it. Oh man, you gotta check this out. Sorry, I'm just I'll read right now. Here, hold on, let me type it in here. That UFO podcast.
That
right.
UFO.
So I listened to this today. Oh, clicked on the wrong thing again.
This is Jim Semivan, and you are listening.
Oh, well, okay. If you go on the podcast, wherever you get your podcast, this will be there. It's already on. I don't know why people do that. They put it on the podcast first before they release it on the YouTube. It's like an old person. I guess I am old. On the YouTubes. So yeah, check this interview out. It's pretty revealing. If you don't want to listen to the full 3-hour thing, this has kind of a little bit of a summation of it. But yeah, look at that. 10 minutes from now, it'll be available. But yeah, that UFO podcast. Yeah, guys, there is so many demonic connections here. Let's get back to my history, because I wanted to talk about something else if I can remember it. There is so much stuff that is very obvious demonic in a lot of this, and yeah, as I'm listening to this, it's bombshell after bombshell. I just want to make a separate video alone, just pulling a clip from it like I am right now, with the other thing with Mind Pump, and just show it, maybe commentate on it for a second. But there is just so much on there. And with that interview with Ross on that UFO podcast that in about 9 minutes from now will be available. Well, by the time I upload this, it'll be there for sure. I think this was another good one. Let's check
Yeah,
this
this
one
is why I know disclosure is coming, and guess what? It's going to come out in the most beautiful way. I believe the United States government in the next 12 months is...
Okay, sorry about that. It was kind of the same thing. There was another one I think that I had on here, but whatever. Yeah, I suppose there's one more thing I wanted to say. I don't know. Well, speaking of the drones, Trump did say that he was going to tell us what it was, and he was kind of on and off about him knowing what it was. Like, it sounded like he for sure knew. Remember that? Like, early January, he said that he knew what it was, and he wasn't sure why that, they're not telling the public, Biden. And he wouldn't say whether or not he was briefed on it, but yeah, so he kind of, made it sound like he knew, but then other things would contradict that. And the last I heard of it, he asked his right-hand person, whoever, I don't know, Susie, whatever, I don't know what position she held, but there's an interview just a few days ago now. Hey, Susie, can we look into that? Because someone asked him about the drones, and it's been silent since, I think. So I just got something on here. House Speaker invites Trump to address Congress. Address Congress of what? I guess I could click on it, but I hate the Fox News app because it takes forever to load up. And then oftentimes, once it loads up, it brings you to something completely different than what you clicked on. So that's just been my experience anyway. So anyway, before I went to those other clips, I thought of something I wanted to say. Now I can't think of it, but yeah, there you go, guys. What do you think about that? And if you're into health and fitness like I am, seriously though, check out the Mind Pump.
The way through. Well, now we have these studies
here. So yeah, not to go off topic, but there was a couple of these that were really, really good. This one right here, because I'm looking into becoming a personal trainer at some point, maybe, I'm just going to dip my toes in it. That was a pretty good episode right there, but you can just see the topics here. Now, the names of the topics are a little bit different on here than they are in the podcast format. I'm not really sure why that is, just maybe different audiences or whatever. But, yeah, it's great information. I'm really into fitness and health and weightlifting and all that good stuff. So maybe some of these things you would want to check out. It is fun, though. Sometimes they do get into conspiracy-type stuff just for fun, and those are always a blast. But again, it's it's not a PG-rated podcast oftentimes. So just be advised with that. Oh, yeah, now I remember the thing I wanted to show you. Okay. Oh, that did release something new. What's this? Leaked audio of an alleged alien recording. Okay, I'll have to check that out later. Let's go back because I wanted to show you a comment that I had left on Cosmic Road. Probably get some commercials. And I don't know, just tell me what you guys think of it. There's probably going to be some typos and stuff. I have weird problems when I'm trying to type out things on here. So, alright, let's just read this. So I don't mean to be a stick in the mud, or however that saying goes. I know it's not a popular opinion, but I would just say, acknowledging fully, it's my opinion, but just as a word of caution for your consideration. You have to listen to it to understand what I'm talking about. Whoever's reading this, how do you know if these things are friendly, especially when you are told to do and partake in things that, I meant to say that, are strictly forbidden? What am I talking about? And, it wasn't super clear cut now that I'm reading this. I realize that, but, I'm talking about the Bible. But just hold on. Well, if you see my channel name, you know what I'm talking about. Personally, I think there is grand deception right around the corner. Take it with a grain of salt, if you will, but partaking in all these practices of trying to contact beings in sort of a spiritual way for the purpose of having experience or trying to gain wisdom or whatever might not go the way you think in the very end. You might be promised love, and this and that. And if you know the interview with Jake Barber, you know what I'm talking about. But we know there is also a dark side to some of the people that have had experiences. And sure, they might play it off as, oh, that was just another race of beings or whatever. I'm talking about the so-called alien beings. If you ever communicate with them or whatever, they might be like, try to convince you, oh yeah, those guys that had bad experiences, oh, those were just our those are just our cousins, or this other race of beings. It wasn't us. We're all about love and good feelings all around and all that stuff, and we just want to have you guys evolve or reach the next step of your humanity or whatever. Okay, I think there's a high probability it's deception. There's lots of ways, I believe, this is just me, where they tip their hand. Again, I have to go back and correct some of this stuff. I have like all kinds of issues with gadgets like all the time. They want you to communicate with them, but they claim that you have to practice these things, all these things I should have said, that again are strictly forbidden. And yet for some reason they are still able to do stuff to other people, even though they are not doing those things. And what I'm talking about there is that, again, referring to this video, the Jake Barber stuff, they have psionics, as they call them, people who are able to reach, what's the word I'm looking for, to basically call these or summon them, to summon these beings, these alien beings or non-human intelligence or whatever it is. But then I think Jake Barber said something along the lines of like, yeah, anybody can do this, but you have to have love. You have to, I forgot the exact words he said, but it's what you would expect, like the kind of new agey type of thing. It's like you're summoning a spirit. Like that's exactly what it sounds like, that sort of thing. And we know what the Bible says about that, speaking to the dead and all that stuff. Anyways, and then the times when they do give messages to people, they come with gospel. They are essentially evangelists with a message, and gospel with a little g. That's intentional. Again, this is my opinion, but I'd rather take the words of a more authoritative source, and by that I meant to go more in detail with that. I meant God, and His Word, than mystical beings with contrary messaging and telling people they have to let them in. And I don't think I went in as detail as much as I wanted to, but what I hear a lot, I know Haunted Cosmos talks about this a lot, there's something about letting the demon or a ghost or whatever it is, letting them in. Like if you mess around with Ouija boards or whatever, you're letting them in, and then now they have full access to your home or whatever. So there's just a lot of stories like that. Okay, that's a dead giveaway, talking about contrary messaging and, you just have to let us in, even though sometimes they interfere with people's lives and they didn't let them in. They didn't do, not shaking dead chickens around a, hexagram or whatever, pentagram on their floor or whatever, performing some ritual, and they were still harassed or whatever by these other beings. Let them in by doing all these special practices, because for some reason they won't just reveal themselves fully and normally. That should be exceedingly suspicious. It's like the saying goes, there's no such thing as a friendly ghost. When you study the history of the phenomenon, even going back hundreds of years, and I give a plug here, check out a 10-part series from the podcast Cultish from around August 2023. You will see all of the occultic ties. For me, a lot of this stuff has very much overt occult ties. There's enough stories out there how people who dabbled into the occult or seek out spirits talk to and such, that they might come off as friendly at first, but it doesn't end well. I've had my very own real supernatural encounter myself, and it wasn't pleasant. Could say more, but again, this is just some random dude's alternative opinion. I'm just trying to talk nice, just to, get people to listen to me and not just argue with me and just, heap a bunch of coals on me and stuff like that, or, drag me across the ground, or, all those other sayings to convey that they just want to be mean to me. Or, yeah. Anyway, just putting a few nuggets out there to think about. Hope you all have a blessed day. And thanks, Cosmic Road, for the reporting. I do appreciate it, even if we differ on thoughts about this. And again, just kind of giving the niceties there so I don't get raked over the coals. That's the way I wanted to say it before. But yeah, he talks about wanting... he's a guy who likes to practice with, trying to get in different states of mind, doing some drugs, ayahuasca retreat. That's this guy right here. He wants the experience, and it's not going
that
to
may have had
for him.
warring factions.
So pray for the guy.
Talked about before numerous times on the channel that UFO disclosure also means spiritual disclosure.
Like, we as a public do not want catastrophic disclosure. What we need, again, there's a few bad apples. We need to maintain our institutions. We don't get rid of them. We need to find a way to get the right people promoted to positions of power and trust. And we already have that. It's called the Gang of Eight in Congress. They're a big part of that. Right now, it's not functioning that way. But we're not going to change. We can't change the structure. We need to get the right people into power, into positions, start looking into it. And again, you don't need to rely on the government. It's already there. Like, what we need to know is this. We need to know that we're not alone. We need to know that there's a profound spiritual component to our existence. And that's just for the sake of our own fellowship.
Yeah, so there you go. That's what he thinks we should know, is that we are not alone and that we have a soul and we are connected to something greater. And I think that's beautiful and lovely. I do, however, disagree with him. His faith in the process and in the system has been shaken. And he's, a part of it to a certain extent, and he's lived his life in that system. So it's understandable that he has a little bit more faith in it and adheres to it a little bit more. I don't, and I don't think that that's the only thing the public deserves to know. I think we deserve to know everything. But what's more, because I don't have any faith in the control group as honest actors that are doing good for everybody, we need oversight of those guys. They're shooting down UFOs.
Yeah, there's just all kinds of stuff. Some people, I don't know if it was the comments in this section or maybe it was the full 3-hour interview with Jake Barber. People are talking about how they had an alien experience. They saw, alien ship or whatever, like the LA lights. One guy was talking about how it changed his life. And Jake Barber talks about that too. But, I'm a different person. I'm more like reserved after that. I'm nice to everybody and I'm just changed. And, almost sounds like they're talking about being born again. A counterfeit being born again. They probably think, now I'm a nice guy. Take them through the 10 Commandments. Show them that they are sinners. Do the good person test on them. So anyway, this has gone longer than I thought it would. I gotta get home. I just got done with work, sitting in my van. It's all warmed up. I'm ready to drive. So God bless you guys. Tell me what you think about all the random stuff I didn't think I was going to get into. I thought I was just going to share the Mind Pump clip. What am I going to title this video now? Maybe I'll just do it as a UAP News Roundup. Like I think I called my first, well, not my first video, but one of my videos that. Kind of stole it from him. Sorry. But yeah, just a lot of stuff to talk about. Yeah, UAP News Roundup on that date. Maybe I'll do that. Call this video that. I don't know. I'll think about it on the way home.